All right. So speaking of movies, we all have been spoiled with Netflix, right? With Netflix that started the whole streaming craze, and now everything has a streaming site. I mean, hell, Film Trigger is about to launch their own streaming channel. It's gonna be all Film Trigger all the time. Not
Sounds
really.
awesome.
Yeah. Well, as we are, the fastest growing YouTube channel in the world right now, so we got to bring you content all the time. Well, Netflix, they got a little miffed this year when they were expecting a $2.5 million increase in their viewership, and actually ended up losing over 200,000 subscribers. And it really just made their. Here, let me just pull this up. This explains a little bit better than me. This is from The Wrap. And Netflix ad tier coming sooner than expected. Netflix may be rolling out this ad-based option so quickly due to the platform's significant loss of subscribers this year. Netflix reported a loss of over 200,000 subscribers in the first quarter of 2022, rather than the expected 2.5 million gain. Somebody didn't do the numbers right. As a result, Netflix stock has plummeted, and the company has lost an estimated $70 billion in the market. God, man, that's a lot of money in market capitalization. Due to this, it appears Netflix will begin to offer its cheaper ad-supported option and crack down on password sharing sooner rather than later. Seth, I know this doesn't really affect you too much because you don't pay for Netflix, but what is your thoughts on Netflix doing and adding an advertised tier to their content? Meaning, like, let's say you don't want to pay $20 for Netflix. You're like, hey, I really can't afford that. I can only afford $10 a month. And they're like, okay, well, here's $10 a month, but it has ads. Do you think this is a good way of Netflix trying to meet in the middle, with people abusing their password sharing and all that? Or do you think Netflix is just in trouble and reaching for anything?
I think Netflix is doomed. I think Netflix is the next Blockbuster. They're just
the irony.
They're just the irony, exactly. They're just crashing. Now, maybe sometime they will turn around, and that very well could happen. It's not too late for that, but it's not looking good.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, when it comes to the ad tier thing, though, I don't think it will hurt anybody to put an ad tier.
No,
like, I see people complaining about it, like, oh, Netflix, your thing has been no ads. Like, yeah, well, if you pay the price you've been paying for the last decade, then you're still not going to have ads. I know they've upped their prices, but whatever.
Yeah.
You're still not going to have ads, though. They've never had a tier this cheap before, so it's not like they're getting rid of one of their tiers and replacing it with one that has ads.
That's a good point. And also, I believe one of their theorized experiments that they're going to try out is even like families that, a household can only have, one Netflix account, and then you can have it on 4 TVs. Well, let's say, Seth, you live with me. I pay for Netflix, and you're going to college. You're going to go to school in a different state and become you. And you want to use my Netflix. Well, now Netflix is offering, instead of starting a whole new account and him having to pay $20 some odd a month, we'll add $3, and you can add an account to your existing account. I think that's a really good idea. I think that's very helpful, and almost unnecessarily so. Like, Netflix doesn't have to do that.
Netflix is kind of being nice by making it so cheap. Yeah. Like, I feel like any other company would have made it full price. Another $20 to add on an account.
Well, and not just that, but Netflix also, like you said, you think Netflix is doomed, but they're still the leading streaming service. They still have more people than Disney. That means their losses are bigger too. You hear $70 billion loss, and you're like, holy shit. Like, what does that mean? That sounds like a lot of money. But when you're a multi-billion-dollar company, hundreds of billions of dollars, well, then that's not too bad, I guess. Well,
Yeah.
compared to Disney and and all those other ones out there. Jimbo says, "Remember years back when Netflix tried to rebrand as Quickster and start doing video games as well? I worked there at the time and I lost my job because of it." No, I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. Does that sound familiar to you, Seth? Nope.
I'm gonna
Nope.
Google that real quick.
No. And Jimbo continues, "Every time they tried something like this, it backfires." Well, but when you say try to do something like this, like what exactly are you talking about, Jimbo? Like, I mean, they're losing money, they're losing subscribers, and number one, I would say that's mostly due to the fact that they almost never promote their stuff. Like, you don't see any commercials on basic television for Netflix and what movies they have coming out. I mean, they're paying major actors to be in these high budgeted movies, but they're not promoting them like movies at all. I think that's a huge problem. And maybe that's like their way of like justifying it. They're like, well, we make these movies, but we don't have the marketing budget. That's where we save money, is we don't spend millions of dollars on marketing. Well, maybe you should try that first. But I don't see a problem with bringing on an ad based tier, and I don't see a problem with hey, you want to add an account, extra $3. The only issue that I have with what they're doing is it's not even an issue. It's just I don't like them being flippy floppy. When you used to use when they used to advertise, hey, sharing is caring. Share your password. Or they'll always say, no ads here, nothing here, ad free. Okay, well, now you're flipping on yourself. Maybe come out and just straight up tell people what's going on rather than sneak that stuff in. But Jimbo, I might be jaded because I lost my job, so the Netflix hate is real. yeah, I bet.
I know.
Sorry, Seth, go ahead.
I interrupted you.
But I was just rambling. Go ahead.
I know Netflix has started doing video games again recently. Like they're doing like their own original games, and I'm pretty sure the only ones on there now are mobile. But they're gonna start doing more where you can like play games on your console and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which is odd, but
that's interesting.
I don't see that really working out. I don't know why. I feel like that's not gonna last very long, or maybe it won't be as popular as they think it would be.
Maybe. I mean, listen, I'm not a huge gamer, so I'm not exactly sure how that would work. But to me, the first thing that pops in my head is just like a one-stop shop. Like would you have to have a certain console? Like if you're playing through a PS3, you know what? I don't know how that would work. I mean, they're not going to offer, you can play any game, Nintendo or Xbox or PlayStation, all in this one area. Yeah, I don't know exactly how that would work.
I think they would mostly do original games. Like they'd probably be like short, kind of rushed, shorter games and stuff like that. But maybe they'd have a couple. Like I know it's pretty popular is like the 2K games, which is like the sports games. I don't play those, but those are pretty popular. I feel like they would make a deal with Netflix.
Yeah,
but
well, if Netflix goes down in flames like Blockbuster, that one freestanding Blockbuster store that still exists will have the last laugh. I know they will.
What happens when Blockbuster makes a return after Netflix goes down?
Dude, they tried. I remember when Netflix first came out, they actually pitched their streaming service to Blockbuster, and Blockbuster's like, no thanks, that's witchcraft. Well, oops.
I think what's funny is if Blockbuster did come back, they'd probably come back in the form of a streaming service.
Well, they'd have to, Seth. I mean, physical media is dying. I mean, prime example of this, Redbox.
Yep.
Redbox is going to all streaming now. Yeah. Why do you thing? Like, I mean,
I prefer physical media.
Well, but okay, but then you can be a collector of physical media, right? There's nothing right. There's nothing wrong with that, but like, how profitable is it to have these physical media stations when nobody's really buying physical media anymore? It's all being streamed.
I get it. I'm not like saying it's a bad decision on their part. I get it. I'm just sad.
Yeah,
that's all. I'm just bummed out by it.
Cody Ray says, I do prefer physical media. And he also says, Tubi is so much better than Netflix.
Is
I
it?
bet, right. They're all the same to me. Okay, Disney Plus and HBO Max are my two favorite streaming services right now. So they're the ones I watch the most. I only watch Netflix to fall asleep. I really do. It sucks. And yes, I'm very aware, Cody Ray. I know you do prefer the physical media. Cody Ray, he's friends with me on Facebook, and I see a lot of his posts. He's always posting like old VHS laser discs. I love that stuff, man. That's Seth. Cody Ray, that's your future right there.
I mean, I think I got like 80 Blu-rays or something on my shelf. I got a few. It's a growing collection. It's not a big one, but it's getting there.
Well, go through some of my physical media. See if you want anything from there. Jimbo says, when they axed the video game stuff, that's how I got my first copy of what's that? Skyrim? Skyrim. I don't know what that is. Apparently free Xbox games were out of a severance package. Nice score for you.
I've personally never played Skyrim, but I know a lot of people who have, and I guess that's like one of the greatest games ever made. So
well, there you go. I'm not a gamer. That's more towards Seth's world, and maybe not as. No, well, I don't know. How much do you game now, Seth? All right, fair. Okay, got it. All right, well, there you go, guys. Netflix is bringing ad-supported content sooner than previously thought. Obviously, they're scrambling because they lost all that money, and now they're being sued by their investors. They're having trouble, but I think they'll bounce back. I think they need a little shakeup over there. I think this is just a shakeup to make them say, maybe we can't keep doing the same thing that we're doing again. And I guarantee our days of binging are going to be over when Netflix shakes things up. I bet they're going to do weekly releases of series coming out in the future.
I always complain about Netflix, and I'm always like, well, HBO Max and Disney Plus are the best ones. It's actually Disney Plus, but Disney Plus is the best one. Netflix sucks, but Netflix is releasing my most anticipated movie of the year this year.
Knives Out too.
Knives Out. Yep.
Knives Out, even knivier. All right. Well, there we go. Well, I don't want to keep going on and on, but I'll just end it with this. Netflix there's hidden gems on Netflix that you can that are really good and really fun things to watch. They have a whole bunch of good stand-up comedy. They have a lot of great content. Netflix, promote your movies. Might help. That's all I got to say. Just promote. Make a little ad. Say, hey,
I mean,
the movie going experience without the theater, like something like this.
Yeah.
But that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments below. Are you for it? Do you understand it? Or are you abandoning ship and saying, screw Netflix, we're out of here?